Hey everybody, how you doing? Jam Creates here, doing a Friday night drive home from work, getting into the weekend party stream. Woo! Okay, it's not really a stream and it's not really a party. I'm in the car and I'm driving home. That's why you can hear my turn signal. But anyway, let's see. Had a busy week on the channel this week. A lot of new comic reviews, and I've got a few more actually on the way. I checked out some other stuff from Alterna, things like Midnight Mystery, and I'm all caught up on Scrimshaw now. So I'm going to be reviewing that stuff very soon. So keep an eye out for that. That stuff will be coming. That's not what I was going to talk about today, though. Like, comic reviews are comic reviews. Driving home streams are streams. I keep calling it a stream. It's not a stream. Driving home videos are for either topics or stream of consciousness type deals, which is what they usually tend to turn into anyway. So what I was going to talk about is, it's something I've talked about before, but I think I'd like to address it again and maybe give a little twist, a little spin on it, if you will. Or as the American Dream Dusty Rhodes used to say, if you will. Yes, I'm an old wrestling head. Anyway, maybe one day I'll tell those stories. I keep saying I was going to tell my wrestling stories about meeting wrestlers and stuff, and one day I got to do that. You guys got to remind me to do that one day, and I'll tell you if you want to hear about me meeting professional wrestlers, because I've met a bunch of them. So if you want to hear about that, let me know if you're interested in hearing such things. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is, I had an interesting thing happen. I just posted on Twitter about my my pickups, my comic books that I got from Alterna, and one of them came out this week. It came out on a Wednesday, which is their anthology book, and I posted a review of the book yesterday. You can check that out if you missed it. But an interesting thing happened. Before I even posted a review, I had a few people get in touch. Well, really, I had one guy get in touch with me and say to me, hey, I have a story in that book. I'd love to hear what you think of it. And it's funny because something so simple as a writer of a piece of an anthology saying to me on Twitter, hey, I have a story in that book. He just sounded genuinely excited and happy to have a story in that issue of It Came Out on a Wednesday. And one thing I think that has been proven true over and over again is that enthusiasm is infectious. When somebody is excited about something, it gets you excited about it, even if it's something you don't even care about. My wife used to tell me this all the time. When I used to start going off on things, like whether it was comic books or video games or whatever it might be, or especially when I had an idea about something, because then I would just start going and going and going. She would be excited for me, even if it was something that didn't really interest her. Although, she played video games, and we had many late night Tony Hawk Pro Skater nights, and she watched wrestling with me and everything. She doesn't read comic books. That is one thing, but hey, nobody's perfect. But she would, even if it was something I was going on about that she wasn't really if I was excited, she wanted to hear it, because you could just, you feel that excitement. And that's what happens when somebody's talking to you about something. Even if it's not necessarily in your wheelhouse, it's not necessarily something you're super excited about yourself, when you hear that excitement, it makes you excited. And when that person talking about it is the person who created it, that makes you even more excited. Enthusiasm is infectious, man. If I came on here all the time... Now, I'm not a crazy, over-the-top type person in terms of what you get here on YouTube. I'm basically just me. I don't put on a character or anything like that. It's me. This is who I am, and this is what you're getting. So if you like my channel, then chances are we would probably get along, because you like like what I'm saying, if you enjoy, this is basically me. Sometimes I get a little hyper and my voice can go up, and sometimes Peter Brady comes out and my voice cracks, and other times I'm like, just chill and relaxing, shooting some people outside of the school, and so like. But if I come on and I tell you guys, oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to see this. This is going to be the coolest video ever. Like, you guys would probably get excited about it. Because you're like, well, this guy is excited about something he created. So at the very least, I'm going to give it a shot. So I had the guy who wrote the story, I Promise, it came out on a Wednesday. He hit me up on Twitter and he told me, he's like, hey, I have a story in that issue. And then he took it a step further and said, I'd love to hear your reaction to it. And I was like, cool, I'm doing a video review of the comic, and I'll, definitely tell you my reaction. And he was like, awesome, let me know when the review is up. I want to see it. I want to watch it. And so obviously I posted the review, and I also just gave him a heads up and told him what I thought of the story on Twitter. And he watched the video review, and he enjoyed the video. And obviously, I had positive things to say about his story because I actually really enjoyed that one. And so obviously that makes things a little easier, but he was like, he thanked me for doing it, and he was super happy that I liked it. That's what you want to see from a comic book creator. Like, how did we ever get away from that? I don't understand. Like, I understand that making comics for people who are working at, let's say, Marvel or DC or whatever, it's a job, and no matter how much you love your job, it is still a job. That is, the bottom line. Sometimes work is just work. And sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's not. And so I do get that. But when you're working in something creative, in a creative field, if you can't find a way to make it fun, your whole job is to make up crazy stories for ridiculous characters that wear spandex and beat each other up. Like, if you can't find a way to make that fun and exciting for you as a writer, then you just shouldn't even be writing at all. Like, come on. Now, I get it if maybe you're just not good at writing superhero stories. And so you wind up, maybe you're better at writing romance or, some mystery or whatever it is. That's fine. And that just means that whoever hired you for that position hired the wrong person for that spot, and they should have put you in a better position to be successful. And I had a whole video about that a while back, about how, people running Marvel are like bad coaches, who are playing people out of position. So, there's a whole, you can go back and find that video. It was one of my early ones, I think. But my whole point about this whole story was that this guy was super excited for me to read his story. He couldn't wait to get feedback from somebody about his story. And I gave it to him, and it was positive because it was a good story. And he really, he was happy to hear it. And it made me even more excited to read it. Like, when I had posted that first shot, it was just showing the books I got. I didn't read them yet. And so him writing that to me made me super excited to read his story, because I'm like, well, dude, this guy's confident and excited. He wants me to read it. Obviously, he must be, confident in his story, if he's out there proclaiming it to the world, And so it's exciting. Like, that's how it should be. And then the funniest thing was, to piggyback off of that, I don't remember which one it was that inspired. I think it was my it came out on a Wednesday, actually, post, where some other guy who I've never heard of tweeted at me and was like, oh, maybe I should make my stories into comic books. And I said to him, go for it. Like, there's plenty of space for good comics, for good stories in comics. Like, hook up with a writer and do your thing, man. Hook up with an artist and do your thing. And he was like, I don't know, what do you like? And then he sent me a link to a story, and all this stuff is out there. So if you just follow me on Twitter at @jam_creates, all this stuff is out there. None of this was done in DMs. This was all just done out in public tweets. So you could find it and you could read this guy's stories too. I read the one story that he sent me the link to. I read it right away. As soon as he sent it to me, I hit the link. I was laying in bed, actually. I was going to go to sleep, and I was like, yeah, let me read the story. And I read the story, and it was good. It was a cool short story. It was like a science fiction action short, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. And I told the guy, I tweeted at the guy, I'm like, dude, you should totally turn that into a comic book. Like, that's a good story. I should really put my phone on airplane mode when I'm driving and recording a video. Not just because, you shouldn't be talking and driving. Well, talking on the phone. Like, to another person. Not recording a video in the car. That's cool. That's not illegal. Anyway. Anyway, I know I got a phone call in the middle of a thought, and that's annoying. But anyway, I told this guy, I'm like, you should hook up with an artist, man. Like, this story's good. You could definitely do something with it, I think. And I do. I honestly think that story would actually be a good fit for something like It Came Out on a Wednesday. It's just a standalone short. It's not a pitch for anything more. But I think it would be good. So anyway, it was just cool to me to have, like, people reaching out to me and saying, like, dude, I wrote this story in this book. I can't wait to hear from you. And someone else just hitting me up and saying, like, read this story of mine. I wrote this short. Like, why don't you read it? Let me know what you think. And I did, and it was good. And, like, there's so many talented people out there, and I feel like there's just an opportunity. There's so many opportunities for people, and maybe people don't know, or they're afraid, or whatever it might be. And listen, I fall into that trap as well. Like, where I want to do something, and then you wait for someone to give you permission instead of just doing it yourself. And that's why, like, I'm 43 years old, and I just started a YouTube channel. Like, because what was I waiting for someone to give me permission to do one? Like, you don't need permission, just do it. So, like, it was, it's cool that people have been reaching out to me. And now an artist of another story an artist of one of the stories of It Came Out on a Wednesday just hit up the comments of my review. You can go into the comments, you can see it. So if you want to tell him how you liked his art, let him know. Like, that would be the greatest thing. I would love to see that. Like, if people jumped into the comments besides me, which I didn't even respond to it yet because I've been at work all day, I would love to see a bunch of people comment on his comment on my review of It Came Out on a Wednesday, and just say, like, good stuff to this guy. Like, tell them what you liked about his artwork. Like, he's an artist from Italy, and it's cool. I would love to see that kind of positive excitement and that vibe flowing from this channel and from this group of people that we've got here. We're a small group. I'm at like 114 subs or whatever it is, and I thank every single one of you. And do I want the channel to be bigger? Of course I do. That would be silly. Who would say no? Of course I want the channel to be bigger, but I love what we have. We've got this cool group of people, this core group, who are watching videos and making comments and everything else, and that's what I want to see. I would love to see a bunch of people tell this guy what they think of his art in the comments. Like, I would love for my reviews to be a cool, positive space where people can give constructive criticism and give not just praise, but to give praise when it's due, and to give constructive criticism for things that they maybe thought could be better. And that goes for me too. If you think, my videos, if there's something my videos could be better with, like maybe not having videos get interrupted with phone calls, that's certainly a valid concern. Let me know. Definitely let me know if you've got constructive criticism for me. Let me know. I'd love to, I want the channel to be better. I always want it to be better and to just grow and have more fun. So anyway, that's really my whole spiel for this drive home today, is just, have fun. Comics are supposed to be fun. Let's have fun with it. And I love when a creator is excited about something that they made, and they want people to enjoy it, and they want to share it with the world. It's not uncool to be excited about things stop trying to promote that it's like uncool to promote your work. And this is where a lot of the mainstream people are, and it's just dumb. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to promote my channel right now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, please. And hit the bell for, jingle that bell for notifications. Hit me up in the comments, dude. Let me know. Like, talk to me. Tell me what you think. Do you like when someone comes out and is excited about their book that they've worked on? Do you like when the idea that these people are reaching out with, creators are reaching out to people trying to say, hey, look at my stuff. I like my stuff, and I think you will too. Like, I think that's awesome. So let me know what you think about that too. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see like some of the exchanges, and maybe follow the links here and there. I am not going to promise to put the links to the tweets and stuff in the description because I'm just too old and too tired for that. Anyway, that's all. So I will talk to you guys again soon. And please follow me on Twitter at jam_creates. I'm on Instagram at jam_creates. You can see pictures of beans there. That's mostly what I post there, that and my art. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Have a great weekend.